Welcome back, Mistakes listeners. This is episode 52, and we recorded this episode on February 1st, 2016, or 2/1/2016. This week we watched a show called Power Rangers Dino Charge. I hope you guys know what Power Rangers is. It's been around, I guess, for 22 seasons. That's crazy. Anyway, you can follow us on Twitter at Parenting Mistakes. And you can follow us on Facebook or like us on Facebook at Parenting Mistakes. And remember, if you want to email us directly, you can email us at parentingmistakes@hotmail.com. And as always, sit back and enjoy the show. So, Todd, this has been going through my mind for a while. Because it's always kind of a dilemma for me. And I haven't even told you what I'm going to say, but you're saying okay. You're ready. You're bracing for impact, correct?
All I'm saying is, okay, there's something rolling around in your mind.
Oh, that's what you say, okay.
I'm just acknowledging that, yes. I neither confirm nor deny that I have any answers to your mental dilemma.
Right, which I have a lot of. But there's a lot
do.
of conflicting things. I got a right hemisphere and a left hemisphere.
Yes.
And a middle sphere, right?
What's your dilemma?
What do you guys do for date night? How do you guys find time to go out now that you're older, right? Like, what does date night look like for you in the future? As I look to the future, we do a lot of traveling in the future because you're down the road further than I am.
Yes.
I got married the year that you had your first child. And then I waited 12 years to have my first child. So we are in two different time paradigms.
We are.
So what's your dating life look like?
Well.
Uh-oh. That should have been a lot faster, man.
Define dating.
Well, do you guys ever go out?
You're talking just me and my lovely wife?
Who else? Now I need to really know. I gotta know. Who else?
We do not often go out, just the two of us now.
Oh, no! Why?
Well, we work a lot, and we have a lot of family activities and community commitments, and there just isn't slots of time. How's that?
Oh, no, Todd. This is not something our listening audience wanted to hear.
Well,
now we got to do therapy.
We don't have to do therapy.
Because here's the next question. Well, what? Well, don't you want to go on a date night with your wife?
Well, sure.
Well, why don't you? See, there's the therapy.
Okay, so our calendar.
Sit back in the couch, Todd. Dr. Kidney is in. You need a date night. Oh, my word.
Okay, there's only one of us that has a doctoral degree, and it is not you. So, if anyone is going to be dispensing advice, it will be me.
Sure.
I can, without lying to our audience, say that I am happily married. That we've been married for over 21 years.
I know. I've been on this road.
And we are in a phase.
Oh, wait a minute. You're not talking to me. You're talking to them.
Okay. So, do you know what our dates look like right now? I'll tell you what our dates look like.
What do your dates look like?
So, my wife is a school teacher. High school
Are you trying to make something up now?
No,
now
I'm not.
You've kind of been painted into a corner?
No.
We never date, Dave.
Well, we don't a lot. We don't go out a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. So, my wife is a high school teacher. And she's also the school registrar. She teaches in the mornings and she does administrative stuff in the afternoon. I am a college professor, so I teach certain days and other days I'm off. So what our dates look like sometimes, are you ready for this? This is high romance.
Look, sit back on the couch because you're talking to Dr. Kidney here.
Okay. What our dates consist of sometimes is
what do they look like?
Me bringing a 3-item combo from Panda Express to her school and us having lunch together.
Oh my word. Oh my word. Todd, do you realize how much sugar is in Panda Express?
Yeah.
Yeah, that stuff is deadly.
Well, I exercise a lot.
Yeah, so do I, but man, that panda. I got a panda belly myself. Whoa. Anyway, so that is your date day. It's not even
Yes.
night, it's just date midday.
We have not been on a ton of dates in the evening lately,
Yeah, so you guys have a nooner.
which is not the terminology that we'll use on a family show.
I couldn't help myself.
I know you couldn't help yourself. Actually, lunch is at about 11:30 at the school, so I go to her classroom and we eat lunch, and then, I say goodbye, and she goes back to work.
Oh my gosh, when do you see her next?
When she comes home?
Which is what, 10 p.m. or something?
No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
Does this
Wow.
concern you?
Well, okay,
Where are you going with this?
Well, Jolene and I have a consistent date night, but we have to work hard to do it.
I understand that.
And I was thinking to myself that as your kids are leaving the house, I thought, hey, here's a great opportunity for Todd to express to, the parents that are in my shoes that as it goes on, you'll actually have 2 date nights a week.
Okay.
And you're saying we have a 11:58 night day date.
Yeah.
Where I bring her Panda Express, and it is love.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
And you guys have sugar rushes, and you have a downtime at about 3 p.m. I don't even know how you get to the day with Panda Express at midday.
Well, and understand, we have made choices. We understand that we've made certain choices. So our evenings sometimes consist of sporting events of our kids, concerts, church stuff, community events, that sort of thing.
Right.
And our weekends are loaded with that stuff too.
Yes. So, talking to Dr. Kidney here, do you think it's good that you guys don't have like a designated date night, or you're like, I don't need it? Oh, you got to be careful with this answer, Bubba.
No, I'm not worried about that. Would it be good to have a designated date night?
Yeah.
Certainly, I think in certain phases, I think your marriage goes through cycles where you maybe feel more need to do that type of stuff versus, say, doing events as a family.
Hmm.
And I think as your kids get older, I mean, my oldest is about to turn 18. She's a senior in high school. And so we are thinking more in terms of trying to do stuff together as a family right now. Because when she goes to college next year, whether she goes sort of close or sort of far away, we just won't have as many of those opportunities anymore.
That's true.
And so
I'll give you that.
I think that type of stuff is our priority. Part of it is, and you do bring up a good point, you have to balance between being parents and just being a couple.
That's my point.
Yeah, I know what you're getting at. The times that we are out, we certainly enjoy our time together. And so I think some couples' fear is that your kids are going to grow up and they're going to leave, and then all of a sudden you're going to stare at each other and go, I don't even know who you are anymore.
Right.
Without this
Yep.
common work project called our children, we have
Sure.
really nothing to do. So I think for us, we know that there is a time ahead where the kids will be out of the house. But I think we also focus on enjoying them now
Mm-hmm.
as they are. So
As you're sitting on the couch, I'm just gonna say, regardless of everything you're saying, you need a date night.
yes, dear.
Okay. So, what do we watch this week, Todd? And no
So-
awkward segue.
No awkward segue?
Yes, but because we said awkward segue, it's time to seg the way.
Okay, so this week we watched Power Rangers Dino Charge.
Woo! Sorry, exciting.
So Power Rangers is, I'm looking this up. This is the 22nd season of Power Rangers.
Has it consistently been on TV for 22 seasons?
Well, it says 22nd season. Again, I'm going by the all-knowing source of Wikipedia.
Sure.
And I've never been a big Power Rangers guy.
Me neither. It came in after I was out.
Yeah. So I know enough to know it's gone through some different renditions of it. There's different characters come in and out, but it's sort of the same basic idea that there are these characters, I mean, they're Power Rangers.
Sure.
That sort of do this hand-to-hand combat style of fighting, but then they also have, like, lasers, and they can transform into, like, ships, or they have ships that come along with them. I can't follow the whole story, okay?
No, it's sort of, you've seen it on TV so much that you're like, I've watched blurbs here and there. I don't think I've actually ever watched an entire episode through and through until this one. But I can tell you that, like, the Green Ranger, I think his name is Tommy. He's a very popular Ranger. And I think he's appeared in many different episodes and many different iterations of the Power Rangers. And usually there's sort of a passing of the baton between Rangers, right? Like, hey, I'm the Red Ranger, but now you're the new Red Ranger and stuff like that. So,
right. And we watch this show. This is sort of I don't know if they're considered reboots or not.
I was wondering that myself. I was wondering if this is some part of the connected universe. Strictly because when in the show, just jumping ahead, the guy who is the Yoda shows up on Earth, and he's got, like, I'd say, 12 power crystals that he kind of, like...
I believe there are 10.
10. So 10 power crystals are divvied out between 10 different dinosaurs, 65 million years in the past.
Yes.
And then... all I'm trying to say is that I don't think we're dealing with all 10 crystals right away. We're dealing with like 3 or 4 of them or 5 of them.
Yeah, in the first episode we dealt with 2, really.
Correct.
Okay. So the basic premise is, I would say, very basic. There's the Power Rangers are the good guys, and then there are some very, I don't want to say generic, but there is a standard bad guy who wants to rule the universe.
Well, if he has the crystals, he will be able to marry his evil mistress, or whatever you want to call her.
Yes.
The heart-shaped weird girl.
Yes.
He does actually call her, I think it's Poisana, or something like that. And boy, I'm sorry, Ranger fans, we're going to slaughter this. But he is due to get married. Poisandra. He is due to marry this woman. But because they don't have the crystals, he doesn't have ultimate power, he can't marry her. So there's already this tension amongst the evil crew that they can't get what they want done. And not only that, they can't even get on with their lives until they get these power crystals, right?
So the traditional sort of production of the Power Rangers show is that it is, and again, we're going to get some of this wrong, but it's...
Sorry, Ranger fans.
Yeah, sorry,
so
Ranger
much
fans.
Of it.
We're going to get crushed by the Ranger fans. But it's sort of... It's super hyped up acting. It's over-dramatized, over-dramatic fight scenes. And then the production is almost intentionally low-budget looking, if that's fair.
No, I totally said that's fair.
It looks a little bit like, old black and white Godzilla movies where it's, some guy with a plastic lizard on a wire and he's sort of stomping through a model railroad set, and that's kind of the thing. Mm-hmm. And the characters are...
But even the Toho productions are better than this. Just saying.
Okay.
Toho is the guys that they make Godzilla in Japan.
Okay. So the bad guys are all sort of collectively buffoons and also over dramatized, and yeah, it's a very standard shtick.
It is a hybrid of sorts, and this is the part I've never understood about it, and we'd have to do more Ranger research to figure it out. But I do believe that a lot of the action sequences are filmed in Japan using Japanese actors that are in those costumes that you actually never see, and that they're then switched out with the Western counterparts when they're not in costume. So in essence, there. Man, I'm talking out of my rear end. I don't want to. I know that there is some of it that is spliced together, in which there is some that is filmed over there, and there is some that is filmed over here.
Needless to say, the entire production is very campy. It's just very overblown. It's very overdramatic, but it's a formula.
Let me tell you. Yeah, and here it comes. You liked it.
No.
Really?
No.
I loved it. It was
Did you really?
way over the top. Yeah, it's like they totally embrace it, right? They don't stop. They
Okay.
know they've got a limited budget, and they just go for it. They go for everything.
So
right?
this is my dilemma in my head.
I'm sorry.
Because-
I don't mean to convince you.
No, I understand.
Okay, I'm just telling you that I found
No.
it completely enjoyable, with the exception of a number of other things. But
Yeah.
I love the fact that they embrace just the craziness, outrageous nature of, whatever they're doing. The style.
So this is our dilemma, and we've talked about this a bunch of times. I don't get it, but I'm not supposed to get it, necessarily.
Sure.
I am not the demographic. I can totally see where a middle school kid would get into this. Or even a younger kid. Maybe even high school. I don't know. Maybe this is one of those guilty pleasure shows that you watch in college.
I don't think so, but
Yeah. So let me jump ahead to this. Who is this for? And who would you be comfortable watching this?
I would say a 12-year-old boy, 11-year-old boy,
Okay.
sits right there. Same people that would be watching some of those action-oriented cartoons, like the Avengers show they watched, or I want to say Super Friends, but Justice League. Sorry.
See, this is what's weird about this show, is that I didn't find it entertaining. I mean, I understand where it's supposed to be entertaining. I just find it annoying. But again, I'm the parent.
Mm-hmm.
The interesting aspect is that it's violent, but it's almost like so over-the-top, unrealistic violent that you're almost not worried about your kids.
Okay, this you've already said it. You've already said it. It is so well choreographed. Everything is so intentional to the point where, yeah, it's just a ballet of whatever this is.
Right.
Right? Here's our shtick. This is what we do, and no one ever gets hurt. And they're not, because it's like, even in the combat sequence, you're like, no one's gonna get hurt here. Not even the
Right.
bad guy.
I mean, I'm feeling
He's in
like,
a nice rubber suit. It's not gonna get hurt by these sticks, right?
Right. I felt a little bit like 1960s Batman TV show.
Yep.
Kapow and Biff and that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
It felt a little bit like when you're out in the backyard with your neighbor buddies and you're doing fight sequences and
Sure, and you're smashing sticks together.
yeah, and you're putting together a little choreographed fight scene yourselves.
Yep.
I mean, it really felt like we're all supposed to know that these are stunt guys. It's like they're doing stunt double shots this whole time.
Absolutely.
And
This
so
is why I liked it. I'm telling you, this is why I like this show.
well, and that's what's interesting about this. It's like, okay, we've gone so far away from actual violence just towards campy, overacted violence that it doesn't even look like violence anymore.
That's not for everything. It
No, I
really
know.
isn't.
I
This
know.
show has got its own take on what violence is all about,
Sure.
and it's been this way since its 22-year run. Because you've watched a little bit of Power Rangers here and there, and
Yeah.
you've seen them do these, I can't say elaborate, because I'm not even sure, like, do they hire real fighters? I mean, something is choreographed here, but I couldn't tell you, as somebody that knows nothing about martial arts, could I sit there and say, that is awesome, right?
Well, I
I
think
can't.
you used an interesting word. You said ballet. I mean,
It is a ballet.
It is a ballet. I mean, you could put this on stage, literally, and they would just sort of be dancing around.
I don't know why there isn't a Broadway show of this, because it's
Maybe
it'd
there
be a lot of
is.
fun. It'd be a lot of fun.
Power Rangers the ballet, Power Rangers the physical. I guess I don't really know what to tell parents about this because again, yeah, it's all violence and
Yes.
it's all horrible acting. And it
Oh.
is.
Okay, it's horrible acting, but I felt that the actors were pretty charming. Compared to a lot of the other Power Rangers I've seen, I felt like this cast was pretty well off. I liked them for what they
Okay,
were. If I was 11, I'd be like totally into this show.
I suppose.
Oh,
Well,
totally.
they have set it up, and I think this is the other part of it is that they keep it pretty simple. So these are all standard, vibrant colors, and they are all geared towards you sort of picking your favorite.
Oh my goodness, it explains a lot. If this is like Star Trek.
Well, they're
Right, it's like
not always a Star Trek angle.
It's like no wonder I like this show. I'm
Well,
just kidding.
I think they want you to pick your favorite ranger.
Sure.
They want you to identify with a particular set of powers, a particular personality, and this is what drives merchandise and TV and T-shirt sales and stuff like that.
Yeah, and looking at the cast list on the infamous Wikipedia, I've noticed that it looks like all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 crystals have already been filled out by the entire cast.
Right.
All 10 crystals are out there, like Dino Charge Graphite Ranger, which I'm assuming is the Black Ranger, right? So there you go. Go to Target. I bet I can find you the Dino Charge Graphite Ranger.
Yes.
For sure.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, that's always the stuff that sneaks in there, for sure.
So I don't know. I mean, it's in some ways it's kind of throwaway television. Every episode is going to be pretty much exactly the same. There's going to be some minor dialogue between the characters. There's going to be a new fight scene with some strange creature coming out of the woods, and then there's going to be maybe a cliffhanger to the next episode where they're going to do exactly the same thing over again. So there you go.
But revel in the ballet, Todd.
Ugh.
Right? But isn't ballet the same thing? How many times a year do we watch Nutcracker? You know, oh, let's go to Nutcracker. People
Once
watch
a year.
Nutcracker every year,
Once
right?
a year. Not
They
every
love
week.
it. Power Rangers. It's
I
like
know.
going to Nutcracker every week.
No, that's the thing. This is every week. Are you going to go watch the Nutcracker every week?
Oh no! You know what? I liked it. I can't say that I would say that I go out of my way to say this is my favorite show. By far, no way. Right? But it is what it is, and for what it is, it's pretty great. It's entertaining, and if kids walked away from this, instead of punching each other or something in the playground saying, hey, let's do a choreographed stick fight, I'd be all over it.
Yeah,
right? As long as they're not hurting each other, I'd be like, that's kind of fun.
That's a little bit of wishful thinking, don't you think?
It is, totally. I mean, right. But they could.
I suppose.
You want to
All
put a
right.
percentage on it? 3%?
All right, you can follow us on Twitter, Parent Mistakes. You can like us on Facebook, Parenting Mistakes. And if you want, you could support our podcast with a little cash on Patreon.
No, you're making it sound weird, dude.
What? Give us money.
That's right. Just say it that way. Not
But we'd also love to hear your feedback. If you would send an email to parentingmistakes@hotmail.com, we would love to hear any feedback from you. Shows we should do, things we should do better, things you love about our podcast. Yeah, we love feedback.
Things you hate.
Yeah, if you'd like to see Dave and I do a choreographed ballet fight scene,
We just figured it out. That's what we'll do for the Patreon thing.
that's what we'll do.
Is we'll
All
do
right.
a choreographed YouTube video of something.
There we go.
Yeah.
Until next time.